And then, of course, all the camaraderie. Everybody knows one another. And we try to help one another, which I think is very important. My name is Mitch Malkovich. I'm a native of the Globe, Miami area. I was born in Miami at the old Miami Inspiration Hospital above the town. I was born in 1940. I was brought home to the home that I still live in to today, 80 years later. After graduating from high school, Miami High School in 1958, I went to the U.S. Army and I served 3 years, ultimately in Europe, Livorno, Italy. I came home and I went to work for at that time, the Miami Copper Sleeping Beauty Mine. That was in 1962. I spent 38 years working for the company, retired, and I retired in the year 2000. Many things have changed. At that time, Miami was much busier than Globe is. I could walk down Main Street on payday Friday night. You couldn't even walk down the streets, it was so busy. It was quite an exciting time. We had 2 movie theaters at that time. We had the YMCA where I learned how to swim. It was really an exciting place at that time. You know, back in those days, we had to make our own fun. It's not like today, everybody's on their little cell phones and Twittering and all this sort of stuff. So we made our own fun. We organized our own fast pitch softball teams at that time, built our own field. I participated in Little League when I was a youngster. Ended up playing about 16, 17 years of fast pitch softball. We traveled the state and had a lot of fun there. And then, of course, all the camaraderie. Everybody knows one another. And we try to help one another, which I think is very important. I eventually joined the Tri-City Fire District, which I am still associated with today, 53 years later. Grew up through the ranks as firefighter, on up through steward, then eventually assistant chief, fire chief, and now I'm chairman of the governing board for the Tri-City Fire District. Spent 33 years Tri-City's Regional Sanitary District. Spent 6 years with the Gila County Planning and Zoning Commission, 8 years with the Gila County Personnel Commission. So I've been trying to be active somewhat. I think it's very important that we do that. My father worked in the mines until 1927. And when he got out of underground mining, and he and his sister, her family, decided to go into their own business, they built a local grocery store in Claypool. It's called Claypool Grocery. He worked that store until he passed away in 1972. I thought at one time I might follow that same work ethic, but the money wasn't there like I could make in the mines. Started as a laborer, worked up through a powderman, jackhammerman, scaling, then I got into administration. I never dreamed I'd spend 38 years in the mines. So craftsmen weren't available. And all the equipment that we were mining with was brand new to us. So it was a whole new learning experience for all of us. Plus we had to put our employees through a trainee program. Now when we started the pit, when I started there in 1972, we had what we call the Castle Dome. It was brought about during World War II as a defense plant corporation. They operated till the mid-1950s, and then they moved all the entire mill site, everything, to the Sleeping Beauty mine. Then, of course, in 1971-72, everything went in new. Mining, especially starting at Copper Cities, we're like one big happy family. We're union at Copper Cities. Of course, when we went to Pinto Valley, we were non-union. They eventually formed a union, but 7 unions, they called themselves the 7-Pack. They only operated as one. We eventually formed in the mid-1990s. I was very fortunate to participate in what we call the Joint Union Management Cooperation. It was a joint venture between the unions and management of Magma Copper Company. And we negotiated a historical 15-year agreement. Prior to that, we negotiated 3-year agreements. Everybody knows one another. We all formed friendships. Of course, population is small. It's not like in a big city. We don't have the amenities that you have in the big cities. We've got two school districts and a lot of local businesses, and some of them are struggling. But a lot of them are really making a comeback too. And then of course all the camaraderie. Everybody knows one another. And we try to help one another, which I think is very important.